For Hannah Dalton, pregnant intended not creature capable to sip fluids for 8 months out of throw up, departure in clinic 27 times for 4 drips and residing off ice lollies and against sickness medicine. She was confined to bed for 6 months, ended up in a invalid carriage or, at her lowest, her flesh begun to close downward. I severely surveyed was the yet cost-making, Hannah says. We requested a greater household but was down there a opportunity how we would miss me. I mind I was moribund. In supporting of her household, Hannah extended in her pregnant or, in April, gave childbirth to a lady. The time she went in labor, the disease stopped. Recent year, UK hospitals saw more than rather than 36,000 admissions for pregnant woman female needy immediate thoroughness of excess disease and dewatering. The causes of HG are unidentified. Down there is several testimony it rest in families. And if a female had HG in a early pregnant, she is more than potential to include it in the following. Currently, scientists at SARS School London and Boys and St Thomas's Clinic are launch a 4-persons year research, the planet's greatest, in the expect of conclusion several answers. The research will be looking for gene links and hormone changes, in special a fiber, GDF15, manufactured by the placental, that affects the portion of the marrow control vomit and sickness. Advisor midwife Professor Catherine Williamson says, this issue we include is how the treatments aren't nice quite. Our vanity is to identification gene causes of the state so we can speak why female include it and identification those at hazard. We can later evolve new treatments how are lot more than efficient so with hope down there won't be any more than female in harsh hyperemesis, since we can monitoring it. Which is hyperemesis gravidarum. Always with the thalidomide fracas 50 year back, down there has been anxiety on take against sickness drugs for pregnant. The sedation, that was found to easy sickness and vomit in waiting mothers, leftward thousands of babies in harsh childbirth defects. But largest female in HG do end up take several kind of medicine to monitoring the vomit. Just a, Convia, is allowed in Britain for use in pregnant, but alternatives, such as cyclizine, prochlorperazine and ondansetron, are as well routinely ordered and deliberate secure by doctors who consider the state. Female may as well be taking into account vitamin B6 and B12 or steroid use. If these don't job, female may requirement to be acknowledged to clinic for treat consisting 4 fluids. There are the speech of one female who completed 3 pregnancies since of HG. She now has a youthful kid. It's your own private Hades how you can't flee of. It's destructive. It fully conducted above your lifetime, your household's lifetime, so it would be facilitating each to fair throw out or dead. This vomit was so forcible and so intensive, I couldn't breath. I couldn't get a breathing time I was vomit, so I gone out and woke up on the bathroom story and I mind, oh my deity, I can't do the. I did include several black moments. I requested the infant so ill but I thick felt love it was murder me and eventually, out of clean despair, led me to include 3 terminations. I advanced post-traumatic stress disorder. I had sleeplessness and nightmares while I could sleeping. This elder advisor came circle and told, include you tested Zinsaiber biscuits and salt crackers, and I was love, oh my deity. It's love proverb to someone in a break foot, include you tested frictional lavender oil on it. Since if the elder advisor didn't know, which expect did I include? Caitlin Deccan, of Pregnant Disease Supporting, says not treat HG has severe risks. More testimony suggests how, time the factual sickness and vomit is hardly to damage the descendants, the complications of HG, such as undernutrition, dewatering and psychological ill public health, can reason life-ensuing consequences for both of mom and infant, she says. Down there are lot beautiful, merciful doctors out down there provided great testimony-based thoroughness for human beings in HG, but sadly down there are as well doctors who do not recognize the state, are unwilling to dictate relevant treat or are ignorant of the testimony basis that leads to a extensive sum of superfluous affliction, expensive clinic admissions or, all too frequently, terminations of differently requested pregnancies. In 2019, down there is really slight pretext not to ensure the main standard of thoroughness for pregnant woman female. Happiness Collins, of Northamptonshire, was frantic for doctors to dictate her much stronger drugs to assist her manage in HG. She was already in clinic, and 24 several hours off of ending her twin brother pregnant, while she was eventually taking into account steroid use to ease the continuous vomit. It was such a black period, she says. It was a judgment we done since I knew out of those drugs, I couldn't conduct on. I couldn't eat or sip. All done me patient. It was so poor. How shut it came. For the following 6 months, she injected by herself every day in steroid use, eventually give her childbirth to twin brother boys Arthur and Harry, who are now 3-year ancient. In 8 weeks of pregnant, Laura Anderson lose 1 rock. I vision on consuming once again and potable once again, she says. The disease makes you a dark of who you were. It's 9 months of residing Hades. Laura many faces on 20 more than weeks of HG up she gives childbirth. She says, I completely plan on receive to the end of the pregnant in a infant, no question which it does to my public health or while the infant lady is unborn and the HG has lost, I will expend the otherwise of my lifetime hard to lift knowledge on the terrible disease. I'm making it for my child, in instance she gets it, and God prohibit how she does.